the corps rehearse and go through new songs. So every Friday, first Friday, even though the majority of the crowd is an older crowd, that they probably forget what songs we played last Friday.
Yeah, that's helpful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Play it again. I haven't heard that one before.
That's right. So, but we try to work new numbers in every month.
You're doing a kind of a double reverse sponsor. You're doing the WIC building and the House of Wellness.
I don't know if Scott and the
Scott Gilbeck,
and the Ho Chunk Nation want to be a reverse
Probably
sponsor,
not.
but Scott watches our podcast, and I figured I put on the jumpsuit that I used to wear at the fitness center. So, and then I've got the WIC hat on because we're going to talk a little bit about something that's going up down at the park. During our 58th episode. That's
reverse
coming up.
Sponsorship of WIC building. And,
We've got our all things normal, the 3 first segments that we always do. I'm not even going to say them because you know what they are. If you're new, well, we're just going to
stay
throw
around
you in.
and watch. Yeah.
But then we've got Jim Schroeder
from the Mazo Music Conservancy,
the MMC. Yeah. And we're going to talk about the inception of that. We talked about that in our commercial. But Johnny and Drew and Joe will be here. Couch potatoes. You'll be a couch potato. You've kind of morphed into being a couch potato full time now.
Honestly, I full disclosure, total transparency. That's what we're about: communication and transparency. I have a sciatic problem. I have a back problem.
Sciatica.
And so I can only sit in this chair for so long, and then I have to retire to the couch. And sometimes you'll see
problem to have.
You'll see my leg moving around. It's not that I'm nervous. It's that I'm trying to keep it from freezing up and being sore.
Yeah.
Enough of my problems.
No, that's fine. We got This Day in History Drew's bringing, so we haven't had that in a while. We'll have that back by Zero Demand. Or maybe Sally. Maybe she liked that. I remember it was either that or the
Somebody
State Fun
voted
Facts.
for it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
that's what we've got this week. So we'll just sign off here and see you in just a little bit.
Hey, this is Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. And this is the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast.
Is everything coming through loud and clear, John?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's on
I can't
point
hear
here.
Joe, but I heard Drew and I heard...
You can hear yourself, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Good.
That's good.
And we are ramping up for our 58th episode of the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast. Our executive producer and fearless leader is getting everything organized. That's Hudson.
Howdy.
He's also known as Harris Brando. John is producing the program today. He's got the
Mixing.
headphones on. In the business, you call those cans. Yes. And Drew is next to me. Joe's over there at Information Central, just in case we need to check on something and get up to date. And you're there watching, so thank you. And I'm Todd.
At least we hope they are.
Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, this episode is brought to you by 1855 Coffee House in historic downtown Mazo, down by the flagpole at 1 Broadhead Street at the corner of Hudson and Broadhead. And you get 10% off if you say that you listen to the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast. Now, on to the important details of our first segment.
Well, Dad set it up, so we'll jump right into 58 with Wisconsin Heights Weekly with Joe. What do we got?
All right.
You, Joe.
So, baseball team is 5-10, softball team is 5-13, and the girls soccer team, which co-ops with Barneveld, is 5-3-2.
Wow. All 5 wins.
So,
true.
Wednesday, May 17th, today, senior scholarship shindig will be happening out at the school. I would guess that would be in the evening. I didn't get a time on that. So then Thursday, May 18th at 4:15, there's a middle school track meet at Sauk Prairie High School. And then at 5, the baseball team plays against Belleville at Belleville at 5 o'clock, like I said. I think it's a little bit on a hill. Their field is. Kind of have to drive up a little bit, if I remember correctly. Belleville's, yeah.
Sounds right.
I mean, kind of. It's
Just kind of a
very
gradual
slight incline.
Yep.
Well,
But
that's
Still have to
it's-
find out what your definition of a hill is.
But it has a like
It's
a
right next to the high school.
Yeah, I know, but you have to kind of go up a
Kind
little
of.
bit.
bowl. It has a little bit of a bowl shape that you
Yep.
can sit
is
in.
the pitching or the cage that's up there. That's kind of on. It's a separate kind of. Is that on the hill a little bit?
This
The
is
cage
think
where they
that's
keep the
Cambridge.
Wildcats? Or what?
Yeah.
Cambridge is like
That's
that.
really
Batting
that's
cage.
Cambridge.
Cambridge is
Oh,
like
it is.
that, I think.
Oh yeah, they have kind of a bowl situation too, and so does
Nothing
Waterloo.
like Waterloo's though. There's
No.
Yeah, Waterloo's. I mean, whatever you say about the Pirates, that's a beautiful. I think that's a
Yeah.
historic, neat
It's
place.
very nice. You can watch
Yeah.
from up on the hill,
Yeah.
looking down on the field. That's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Or under here.
I wonder what that looked like back in the day when you had nothing going on. Was it packed? Sometimes because they've got quite a bit of seating there.
Yeah,
That used to be the football field. You said.
yeah. We played football there,
really?
but I can't always remember because by the time I got to be a junior and senior, our teams weren't the greatest, so we were just hanging on for dear life.
You just
couldn't
jumped on the bus.
Couldn't really remember. I just got on the bus, got beat up, and then got taken home. So I don't really remember. I imagine there wasn't that much to do. So
I mean, it's
I'm
kind
sure
of
it was
complex though. They're
Yeah.
the Fireman's Park. I just sometimes you go to those places, like especially when I was playing in high school, and we would draw a decent amount of fans there because they had a couple of years. My sophomore year, they were real good. I think did they go to state my sophomore year? Anyway, but they were real good my sophomore year, and then. But anyway, I just, there's multiple buildings there. It looks like they've got concessions available, stuff like that. So you just wonder about, 50, 75, 100 years ago, maybe when that was first built. I don't know when it was built, but you think about the community.
Yeah, no internet.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was a happening place. I'm
You
sure.
would think, yeah.
Did they?
I think they had tennis courts there. They had.
Wasn't there like a lake, just
River.
river?
Yeah, I don't know what.
I know there
river
was
that
like
is.
something,
behind
river
it, but I
creek.
thought there was also like if you went up the hill, over.
I don't remember.
Anyway, did your
Lake.
coach go through the line and say, "Oh, see you at state"?
Did my coach?
them,
He
yeah.
didn't. He didn't go through the line opposite of us.
I'm
Yep.
saying, did
Their
his
coach?
No, did your coach say that to their coach?
No.
Because we had which would have been the same coach.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah.
Except
We won't
he
go
was-
there, but yeah.
We won't.
Back to Wisconsinites Weekly.
Then at 5 p.m. on Thursday, May 18th, the softball varsity regionals start. We play Darlington at Wisconsin Heights that night. 5 p.m. that is.
So is it regionals already? Is that the baseball you're saying?
This is softball.
Well, you're talking about softball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
Yeah, you're
recall.
right on.
And then also during the day, there's a field trip for Food for America.
For the business or for
Food for America is probably a nonprofit, right?
I don't know exactly, but I think it's like run by like the FFA at the Heights at the high school.
And they have a field trip. and
They
raise money
go.
somewhere?
I think they go to like a farm.
Oh,
And then kids go there to see farm animals and equipment and different things like
Translate
that.
America.
Yep. And then Friday, May 19th, 3 p.m., there's a JV conference meet for track and field at Waterloo High School.
I'll lose
a
a lot of action.
JV conference meet.
Yeah, that's new.
That's what it says.
There's a lot of people out for
track.
for track.
Man,
That's
must be.
that's unusual.
It's an attractive sport.
And then at 5 p.m. that night, the 19th, the baseball team plays Monticello. Not at Monticello, but
Home.
at home
Nice.
against Mazo. Or at Mazo, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Nothing happening.
It's a
The
three-team tournament there.
yeah,
I was unaware that we were invited.
we were playing, yeah.
Monday the 22nd is at 7 p.m. is the middle school concert at the North Gym. Fifth grade band.
Just middle school?
Fifth grade will also be playing there, and the high school.
Oh, and this is the time when they always would do this is what we sounded like when we first started, and they'd do all those bad notes. And this is what we sound like now.
No.
And sometimes we couldn't
Sounds
tell
the
the
same.
difference. And that's okay.
Zero.
Did you guys just start tonight?
Yeah. And then Tuesday, May 23rd, 5 p.m. is the girls' JV game at home against Lodi. 6:45 is the girls' varsity soccer game against Lodi. And then 7 p.m. lacrosse plays at home at Sauk on that date.
Their home field is in Sauk.
Yep.
Whenever you say that, you that the last time you said lacrosse, and I'm thinking lacrosse high school or something. We're playing lacrosse high school.
Oh,
You're
okay.
talking about the sport lacrosse.
Correct.
Place. Got it.
Yep. And then there are 3 other field trips going on. They're going to the zoo.
Henry?
One class is
Oh,
going to the
Henry
zoo. And then another class is going to the state capitol. And then another class is going to the geology museum.
Did you guys? This is the time of year when you go on field trips. Did you guys? Did you guys like field trips because you got out of class?
Oh boy, a field trip.
Or did you? And if you did like them, what was your favorite, Johnny? Do you remember a favorite field trip, like in grade school, especially?
I don't remember them very well. I liked them, which sounds... I should know if I liked them, but I can't remember. I liked them because you got out, and I think most of them were towards the end of the year, so that was nice to be done. So, but I don't remember. I mean, I don't remember why. I just remember while loosing, but I don't remember if that was fun or not. I can't remember.
Did you didn't stay overnight? That was
No.
past. Okay, because that's what we did. We stayed overnight.
Yep.
While loosing.
Yeah,
Like
that
tents
was,
and stuff?
Nope, they had like barracks kind of.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't
Like
go on the
cabins?
senior.
Yeah.
I didn't go on
Yeah,
the senior
like
trip.
at camp, like with camp we used to go to, they'd have like a boys' cabin with, I don't know, maybe they had multiple boys and girls' cabins. I can't remember exactly, but they had cabins.
I didn't mind, this might sound weird, but I didn't mind middle school. We went to Pendarvis.
Oh,
I
Mineral
always
Point.
thought that was kind of interesting.
Oh, the
The little
miniature
Cornish
Yeah, I remember that.
homes and that they had and
Yeah.
stuff.
I remember
Plus-
Pendarvis House.
Got
You almost
popped
said Cornish
during,
hens.
during lunch. That was a treat.
Oh, yeah,
That was fun.
yeah. Hudson, you anything or Joe?
I would probably have to say the Rip and Good trip.
Oh, you guys went to
We
Rip and
had
Good
that.
Cookies?
Well, we had Rip and Good was Miss Rip and Miss Good. We went to the oh boy, I can't remember what it's
So much
called.
fun you forgot.
It was a place where you could look at stars. It was in
Planetarium?
There we go. And then
Like in Milwaukee or something?
no,
Or Madison?
in Madison at
Okay.
Madison Memorial High School.
They had a planetarium?
They sure do. And then we also went to what's the golf course?
Pleasant View?
Pleasant View Golf Course.
Yeah.
So we played 18 holes.
Nice.
Went and had pizza at Pizza
Nice.
Hut.
How old were you?
This was 8th grade.
Wow.
It was a great trip.
Did you guys not go to Noah's Ark?
Oh, yeah, we went to Noah's
I
Ark.
don't
That was
think we
pretty
did.
fun.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
But anyway, there was that one.
I'm just saying, I think that must have taken the place.
We also
of that.
went to the Museum of Science and Industry in 8th grade.
Industry.
Yeah, we did that too. I think that was 7th grade though for me. 7th or 8th
sorry.
grade, I can't remember.
And
We were a
then-
year ahead of you
They weren't
guys.
mature.
back
They weren't
then.
mature enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my junior or senior year, we went with Mr. Haas to. We went to it was for accounting. We went to Milwaukee. We got to go through the Milwaukee Brewers clubhouse.
Oh,
that was
wow.
pretty
That
cool.
was fun.
We got to go up through where they do the announcing and stuff and see where all the foul
Broadcast
balls
booth.
went in and stuff like that. And then we went out to, I think, Pizza Hut again.
Wow.
And it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
He remembers so many. I can't.
Well,
I can't remember one field trip.
Well, that's because I'm the closest to high school.
remember
Once
one
you
field
get
trip.
Yeah.
to 30, you start
I mean,
forgetting.
we had Noah's Ark. We went to Noah's Ark. Got absolutely burnt.
To a crisp.
Roasted.
Yeah. We all came
Maybe
back
shaky.
because we had I think we had an 8th grade graduation. You know,
Even though you wore all that sunscreen.
I didn't think I wore any. That was probably a problem.
Yeah. Joe, do you remember?
I didn't mind the classic Hank by the Zoo. Mind going to that. Yep. It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
You got to see different animals, and you were kind of left by yourself. Sometimes if you got I remember on field trips, sometimes you get a cool parent
Yep.
and just kind of let you
Chaperone.
hang loose.
Yep.
I most field trips I was okay with because you got to get out of school. That's it's kind of nice. And yeah, we did. Seemed like the field trips really ramped up around this time. So you're already kind of wanting to be done with school as it is, and so a field trip was like, all right, well this isn't school, and we get to be outside sometimes, and that was okay.
Did you go to the Aldo Leopold Center?
Leopold.
Leopold.
I did a voiceover.
I think
for
we
that.
did. Isn't that
was early on in
wasn't
your
that like a
career.
nature path
Yep.
and stuff? I think we went there.
Which
yeah.
is kind of tough for kids, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Not a lot there.
yeah.
Did they have did they, with the price of admission, did you get like food from there? I'm trying to remember, because I felt like they had like an apiary, like for bees and stuff,
Okay.
like honey and stuff.
Okay.
That's my memory, but I don't know if that's true.
I didn't know
A lot
what-
of it's
I
true.
didn't know. I
Did
didn't
you
debate
get
years
done
old
with
when I
that?
learned apiary.
Or Drew,
Huh?
Are you done with Wisconsin Nights Weekly?
Yes.
We went on a little bit of a
Tangent.
Yeah, people will probably
Trip
like
back
it
to
though,
memory lane.
reminiscing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just say this.
Yeah.
I only remember one trip, and that was my senior trip.
Class trip.
Class trip. And that was to the amusement park, the place in Chicagoland.
Six Flags,
Is that?
Six Flags is well. I mean,
Illinois.
Oh, is it Little
and
America?
St. Louis.
well, no, it's
Little
not. That's
America.
in. That's no.
It's in
it's
Great
not that.
America.
around
Great
Great
America.
America.
Great America.
Six Flags
I
Great
think it is.
America.
Yeah.
Little America's in Marshall,
Yeah.
Sorry, I've
that's
got
where
it.
they went.
Marshall, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Great
I can't remember any
America's
other.
in-
I imagine we went to the
Six Flags
zoo
is in,
like
and
St.
probably
Louis.
the Capitol, but
Well, there might be
Around
around
there.
Yeah, we
there.
went to the
too.
Capitol too. I remember that.
Yep.
There's one.
We do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's that time. It's
Yep.
time for Mazomania.
You mean that was?
Yeah.
Oh, let me say,
So not a ton going on in Mazo this week, but as Dad said, our one sponsor, 1855, have their May lattes. Don't forget to go down and get those. Salted banana toffee and strawberry cupcake, white mocha. That's a mouthful right there. Those are for through the month of May, and also they have the cold brew going right now. Cold brew.
Cold brew.
What's the strawberry one again?
Strawberry cupcake white mocha latte. And then, as a reminder, tonight this is the 17th of May when this comes out, is the Mazo Pool swim lesson sign up.
Ooh,
It's at the community building, and it goes from 5 to 8 p.m. Central Time.
You know, Mom and I, we walk down through the park basically every day. It's always fun when 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, there's laughs and giggles and splashing.
Yeah.
When throughout the fall, it's always like after Wild West days.
Yep.
It's just Deadsville down there.
Yep.
And it's just kind of like, summer's done. Now
Is that
we start
September,
to
right? That's
Yeah,
the-
now we start to ramp up and lots of people down there. You guys got the Mustangs that are playing. The high school's playing there at the park. So there's lots of stuff going on.
Did are those free? Those swim lessons?
No.
No,
They're not.
No.
How much do those dogs cost?
Go down and sign
Go
up.
down
on
to
the
sign
leg,
up and
I
check it out.
think.
I should probably go down and sign up. I'm not the greatest swimmer.
Also down at the park, I don't know if you're going to get to this.
Yep.
Are you going to get to the new
Building?
building down there?
Yeah, that's it looks like it's basically done. It's going to be a concession stand and like a storage area.
Yeah, I talked to Fred,
Okay.
Tylen Parman.
Go ahead,
He
yeah.
works for
100th
WIC.
100th subscriber.
And he said that he got the material list and kind of developed he's really, like, it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to take credit for it, but
It's a team effort.
yeah. And so it is. It's a concession stand, but it's also a storage place down there. Meg's building.
Okay.
So see what we're doing. We've got WIC buildings right there.
Yep.
One of our reverse sponsors. Let's make Kenny Meg's building one of
Yeah.
our reverse sponsors because his crew put it up. And
We should get Kenny Meggs on here.
And it's well, remember we talked about having him because he helped put up the
He did.
the totem pole.
Yep.
And that was his what? Like he's
Great
like
uncle.
He's like a
nephew of
a great nephew of.
Mr. Huset,
Yep.
who did the carving of that. Anyway, any more on that, John? That building?
No, you
Can
can
go
go
down and
ahead.
take a look at it.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's
Lions
pretty
Club,
big.
Mazo Mani Lions Club.
Right by the batting cage.
Yeah.
Right by the small field.
Yeah.
Yep. Lastly, this is really close to home. Our neighbors, Tony and Dennis O'Connell, put in a new driveway. For years, Dennis had been, what
Like
kind
top
seal
coating,
coating.
that
Seal
seal
coating.
coating, yeah.
His
And
blacktop.
He
Yeah.
told me a couple times when I go past when he was doing it over the years, he says, I just got to bite the bullet and get new cement. And they did it finally.
And it was
they
pristine.
laid the last of
He
it.
did a
They
good
laid
job. He did a good job when he
Yeah,
did
they
it.
did,
It was pristine when he did the black.
Oh,
the black.
He's
he
talking
did
about
when
when
he
he
used to-
Oh,
used to do the
yeah,
seal
yeah.
coat.
Yes,
He's-
he
yeah,
did.
it was
He's
fun to
very
watch
good.
him. Work of
Yeah.
art, Dennis. Work of art.
So they put something in the back. They put some cement in the back. So they have like a little stoop, patio stoop there. And then they
Stoop,
did
there it is.
Yep. And then they did the same in front.
Gotcha.
And then they redid their whole driveway, and they did the last of it today, which was, we're recording this on the 10th.
The 11th.
The 11th. That's what I said. On the 11th.
Yeah.
I'm about to break out into song.
Yeah.
On the 11th.
But here's the thing.
And they finished it up.
Here's the thing. It's a happy and sad thing
Yeah.
for Dennis and Tony. If you're watching this or somebody
Yep.
that knows Dennis and Tony, we appreciate it.
Yep.
I mean they did a beautiful job. I think it's Behringer's concrete.
Behringer
Did a
concrete.
really nice job on it, and it really looks nice. But you're making the rest of us look bad.
Yep.
Because my concrete needs to be redone, and
It has for many a year.
and they've got a show place now.
Yeah.
The O'Connells have a show place. The rest of us,
showing us up.
yeah,
Place, that's what it is.
it's trying to keep up with the O'Connells.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Makes sense.
It's the Joneses.
Well,
typically,
they've
but-
got like last couple years or a couple years ago, they built a beautiful yard barn right
I know.
where
They
that
built it?
stoop there. It is.
Yeah.
think
Well,
they
they
did.
had
I
it
think
brought
he
in.
did. Or
It
something.
had it built. Somebody built it.
somebody
at,
built it.
At some point, it had to go up.
Yeah, I think it was
I
handmade.
asked Dennis if he would come on the podcast, and he kind of, oh no, but he'll probably want to
No,
now
he won't.
talk
Yeah,
about
talk
his
about it.
cement slab and
Yep.
the beautiful new driveway he's got.
Seems like a lot of material there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
He could tell.
Yeah,
We could tell the story of the night that he was driving by. I think it was New Year's.
Oh, yeah.
And I was sleeping
Yeah.
out on the couch by the fire. And
Which one?
which couch?
No, which fire?
Yeah, true. That night. Sorry, I wasn't even
Wasn't tracking.
Wasn't
tracking
tracking
with
with
you. We had a fire in our
No, it was
fireplace, which that was controlled. But then Dad had scooped out some ashes from the fireplace, put them in our garbage bin, and
Thought it was cooled down, but it wasn't.
Fortunately, Dennis was driving home. I think
From a
at
New Year's party,
Yeah,
I think,
from
yeah.
at
Around
like
midnight.
midnight, and
Side of our house was almost on fire.
yeah,
Right, just over here
Yep.
in our new addition.
addition.
And it was
Dad, you
burning up.
tell him that you heard two deep voices.
Yeah, I heard Dennis's voice, and you guys were pulling it away, or he
Yeah.
came and pulled it away, but Dennis saved our house.
Yep.
Just happened to be driving by. Just
Yep,
great neighbor.
yep.
Yep.
Anyway,
That's all I got for Mazo
Dad, what do you
Sidewise.
got? You got anything else?
You have anything, Dad?
Well, the only thing I have,
This is Dad's greatest joy is finding stuff that you guys
I don't have anything
Yeah.
else other than
There it is.
we do have. I know we have adventures with Roy from Elroy
that we
coming
do.
up, but we also have Jim Schroeder,
We sure do.
who is our interview.
Those are two things that are
talking about the Mazo Mani Music Conservancy. We did the interview a while back, and so he's going to be on in just a few moments. But that's all I've got.
Well, I
just
had
wanted to
one thing. I had one thing for Mazo Mani site-wise. None other than the Mazo Mani Mustangs. They've got their first game
This Thursday.
Friday in Cazenovia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Friday.
And
Strike two.
John, this is my
Yeah.
Mazo Mani site-wise.
Yeah, that's right.
And then our first Sunday game is the following Sunday. So Friday, not Saturday, but ding a ding a ding.
Yep.
Sunday, we play the Ashton A's at home, Lions Park, 1 p.m.
Sunday
Central
the
Time, yeah.
21st.
Mark your
21st.
your calendars. Yeah.
21st.
Yeah. So we'll get to Jim
And
Schroeder.
there's three of us on there,
Yeah.
plus Deshaun.
Yeah.
So, and lots of other Mazo Mani celebrities. So, we got Tyler and Peyton Flammy.
You'll see Dan O'Connell
Dan
down
O'Connell.
there. Yeah.
You'll
Dennis
see
Meyer.
Dennis Meyer.
You have maybe a Scott
Johannick sighting.
Scott Dewar
Yeah.
sighting from B&B Laminates.
And
to Sean's
what's his
boss.
name? Teddy Severson,
Yeah.
coach of
Ryan Van Riper.
the
Yeah,
ice.
RVR-services.com.
High
Maybe
school.
Emily Net Ripper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just all sorts of celebs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably
Go ahead.
see Fred Parman down there. He'll be
Grounds crew. Man in the field.
He'll be man in the field, and he'll also be overlooking at his new building.
Yeah.
Maybe giving people tours.
That's when he'll be taking. I did that. So that's what he'll be.
How about Dave
I'll be taking
Hoskin?
Dave Hoskin Jr.
With his Foreman
the
Grill,
Coleman,
the Coleman Grill.
BJ will be there. You bet.
Yep.
BJ
Griffin.
and the gang.
Griffin, yeah. Timmy Hewitt.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've covered enough. I think it's time for the exciting adventures with Roy from Elroy, the
Well, that's right.
55-pound charcoal
At
lamp.
least.
At least, yeah.
Roy's been walking these streets so long, howling the same old song. Roy knows every crack in these dirty sidewalks of Mazo, where hustle's the name of the game, and nice Roys get washed away like the snow in the rain. There's been a load of compromising on the road to Roy's horizon, but Roy's gonna be where the lights are shining on him, like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a Gary Kosky rodeo. Like a rhinestone cowboy, getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone.
Roy
I'm sure
Roy was,
Belmont has a lot of pictures for us and stuff.
Well,
Last week he did.
Yeah. Roy really doesn't like the heat. That's what we found out. He does not like the warm weather, and it's not even that hot yet.
If he doesn't like the heat, he better get out of the kitchen.
And he doesn't do that.
He's like, I tried to take him on a walk and he didn't want to go, and it's only 75 degrees outside. Wait till it gets 95.
Yeah.
He's just want to lay down in the basement
Would
on
it
the
be-
cool patch.
He likes the
We should give him a
likes the
haircut.
snow in the
Yeah.
winter.
Yes, he does. Yep.
Yep.
Yes, he does.
For
Yeah.
more than just using the bathroom.
He also was. There'll be a video on here. He was helping me dig up the garden.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that
he's
was- he was going
oh,
crazy.
Got a little bit of a green paw. Yeah.
The other night we were playing catch in the backyard, and he
Green dew claw.
Dean Claw,
had
yeah.
found something, and he was digging it up, and then he was rolling in it. I don't know what. It was just dirt.
I don't
maybe.
wanna know.
Yeah,
I
true.
don't know either.
The dirt J.
My bad.
Dirt J.
Oh, I did take him. Deshaun's truck got fixed, brakes over at Willie's Repair. BJ was in there, and I took him on a walk. I basically pulled him the whole way from our house, 2.5 blocks, because he just didn't want to go. It was too hot. And then I had to pull him in. He didn't like going in to see BJ. But then when he saw BJ, he just was like a wild man. He lost all of his inhibitions, and he started acting. Then he acted dumb the other way. So we got work to do. I mean, we're doing our best.
I'm doing the work. I'm baby stepping. I'm not a slacker.
We're trying. We're not
Baby stepping.
We're doing the
stepping.
work.
Yep.
We're not baby stepping.
But he still has
Not
his
baby stepping.
he still has his moments. That's for sure.
Yep.
I don't think I have anything.
But sometimes I lose my head.
Yeah,
We all do.
Yeah.
So I won't get into mischief. And ma'am, sometimes I do get into mischief. We all do.
Well, I guess we will
That's
move
two
on
good-
to
two
our
good clips to
interview
mine. Can put in there.
with Jim Schroeder. And just a heads up, we plan on, and if Jim is able to, Mr. Schroeder, we're going to try and have him on at least once a month.
Nice.
If we can't, then we'll do it as much as
Possible.
fits into his schedule.
Yep.
So this was the first of the MMC, and we'll let you guys enjoy that. So see you in a little bit.
Hey, how you doing? This is Todd and Hudson. This episode of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast is reverse sponsored by Wick Buildings right here in Mazo, Maine. For over 65 years, Wick Buildings has designed, engineered, and built quality post-frame buildings. So whether you need an agricultural building, a barn dominium, a pole barn home or a pole barn, a commercial building, or an equestrian building, head over to Wick Buildings' website, wickbuildings.com. Over 75,000 buildings built since 1954. Wick Buildings, your dreams, our building expertise. Together, we can build something special. And Wick Buildings, a reverse sponsor of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast.
Now back to more of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast.
Go ahead. What were you saying? The new system you have?
Yeah, it's not only a mixer, but it records.
It does.
It records every channel individually.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we have, well, our band is 7 people, 18 channels.
But then you can control it so much better. I mean, if you just have this one or two microphones, you know, somebody's playing a little too loud or singing, you can mix better, can't you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's mixed also. We'll give it to Mike Forkel.
Okay.
And then he'll mix it, and then he'll give the band a CD. You know, how cool is that?
You mean every band that comes to your to play for the Music Conservancy gets a mixed tape.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
And they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Richard Weigel had copies made, and he's selling them. You know, but it was just him.
Yeah.
So we had his vocal input and then his guitar input.
Okay.
So that was really simple.
Yeah.
You know, Staff Infection with 18 inputs, it's a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Well, it takes longer. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's so nice to have Mike, who has that background probably in production, and was he in radio for a while?
Yeah,
he does he does your radio station, right? You and Mike.
he manages it, or program director, I guess would be the way to say it, because it's all automated.
Yeah.
So it's the best thing for us, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to pay anybody, you know, and we've had some tough times with some equipment issues. And like when it's freezing rain, the antenna freezes.
Sure. Yeah.
Transmitter shuts off automatically.
Yep.
And
Right.
so so it thaws out, got to go up to the tower. It's in black earth and reset it manually. And it must happen 7-8 times this winter. Now we could run some heat tapes up, and because I mean commercial places they have heated towers.
Yes, correct.
But I don't know they probably have a little more sophisticated system than we have.
Yeah, I suppose.
Probably not running
that was the
extension
thing.
cords.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
anything
There's
like that.
stories of, I mean, I worked in radio for 30 years, and the engineer, up at 2:00 up to the hill where the tower is, and he's having to climb part of it or get to the transmitter, turn things off and on, recalibrate things. It's just.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're a commercial station, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to stay on the air.
Yes. Right.
And one of the things I remember, well, the floods were in 18, and Mike was broadcasting. He records everything, and then where you can get food, numbers to call, when's this person going to be in town, da da da. So we were a big help, I think, during that time. Of course, we never know how many people are listening, and now we had some issue with some piece of software that allows us, Mike's computer is in his house.
Okay.
And he can, through the internet, connect to the transmitter. Okay. Well, this piece of equipment, you have to put down 3 different sources for music.
Okay.
One of them is their source, but the primary one is our source.
I see. Okay.
Somehow it flipped. What happened? It went to their source. All of a sudden, didn't sound like our station.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And so Mike found that out, and it took, called the company, and the fellow was from India, which made it really hard
to communicate.
to understand.
Yes. Yep.
They eventually got it right, but in the meantime, it halted our streaming process. And so now we've got to work on getting the stream back. So I'm going to get Bill Biting to help me with that. He does IT work for UW Hospital.
Okay. So he'll know what he's doing.
Yeah, he'll know. We're just kind of
Those people are nice, aren't they? You know what you do that. I don't know anything about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many cameras you have? Just the 2?
Just these 2.
Okay.
We had 2 other ones, but these they didn't record for longer than 30 minutes. So we always had to talk within 30 minutes. So you're like getting close to the time. That's what we had a clock for. And these,
it was nerve-wracking
terrible.
because we'd be sitting there and we'd have a guest and I'd be thinking, okay, I don't want to cut them off because they're right in the middle of a story.
Yeah.
And it's their story and you want them to be able to talk, but you're going to get shut off. So it was like I was having to do my old radio interviews. Like, well, in 1 minute, can you tell me about? It's like that's not how podcasts work. You're not supposed to be doing 1 minute segments.
No, I listened to them, and some are 47 minutes, and some are 32 minutes.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Those of us that grew up in the radio era with half an hour, or 29:30. That's what you always had to time to, or 14:30 to fit in 15, or 29:30 to fit into 29 seconds. And anyway, I mean, we were just always everything had to be hit at the top of the hour for news and stuff like that, hard posts. Were you in radio other than what you do? You never did live radio.
I did.
You did? Okay.
I did when I was in Medford. The radio station had a local station. A lot of those cities up north have just local stations. But they always did the Tuesday, Friday basketball games. And I was reffing at the time, so I do the JV game. And I listened to the radio station. I thought, man, this isn't good. So I went and talked to him, and I said, well, how about if I do this? I'll get done, take a shower, I'll come up, and I'll just add to whatever. And the fellow I worked with, great guy, we developed a good friendship. And I did it for free, and then the next year they started paying me $20 a game.
Well, they must have thought you were worth it then.
Yeah.
You brought something to the table.
Yeah. I was I was a certified official.
Yeah.
Played at coach, so I had a good background, I thought, especially in the officiating sense.
Yeah.
Looked at the rules, knew them.
Yeah.
And so, so I would referee JV on Friday night, all I had to do was just come and sit down.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was just one microphone, no headphones, one microphone.
Yeah.
He just.
So you had to, he just turned it?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And when I left, they hired another guy. And then they had the 2 mics, headphones, everything. So it was all a lot more modern.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was amazing how they still, they had to have a telephone hookup. And so every
Sure.
press box had a telephone hookup. Every place in the gymnasium, you're sitting up, had a telephone hookup because that's how they did it.
Yeah. Right.
Did it all.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, I'd referee the Lutheran boys and girls game. They had Saturday league, $20 a game. So I was making $80 in a weekend. I was only making $200 a week teaching. I could make $80. Yeah. So
if you go back in time, like I talk about my first voiceover job was when my first contract in radio was in 1982. It was $10,000 a year. And one guy came across and said, "Hey, I heard your voice. Would you come and do a voiceover for me?" I drove across Grand Rapids over in Michigan, drove across town, spent 10 minutes doing it. He sent me a check for $60. $60 doesn't seem like much right now, but that was like, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah, yeah.
And back in the early 80s when you were making 10 grand,
Yeah.
We've got to have you, we'll have to, we talked about, you've got your school background,
school
and
background.
and then the radio station, the Music Conservancy, and there's probably a bunch of
and
other
then the
stuff.
community band.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. Iron
Well,
Horse.
and that's what we'll just have to have you come back again because we kind of wanted to focus in on the Music Conservancy.
No, that's
We've already
good.
talked a while about the radio, and I think that would be fun. I'm very interested in radio and stuff, so it's fun to.
And I know that you'd help us if we ever had any issues. I mean, you'd let us know if you could help.
Yeah, it would probably be just on the air stuff because I'm clueless when it comes to engineering or transmitters and stuff. But let's talk a little bit about the Music Conservancy.
Yeah.
What I was thinking, what we would do, if it's okay with you, you have an event coming up next Friday.
This Friday.
This
The
Friday.
5th.
The
Yes.
5th.
Our podcast comes out, and we already have an interview. Jared Brunner.
Oh yeah,
He
Good
had
man.
and he had cancer. He had lymphoma, and so we've had him on, talked about his growing. It's a 2-parter, so it would be this Wednesday and the next Wednesday. But I thought maybe what we could do, if you're willing to, is we could do an interview just about the Conservancy, the history, some different things like that.
Sure.
And then we could just kind of just morph or just stop and just talk about. We're here with Jim Schroeder, Music Conservancy, Mazo Music Conservancy, and you've got an event coming up this Friday. So we can put that in our podcast this week. So it comes out Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
That sounds great.
It'll be a little commercial, if you will.
Yeah.
It can be a few minutes, but does that sound all right?
Yeah, and I'd like to come back. This is our 25th year of our community band.
Wow.
Yeah, we founded in 1998, and so we're trying to promote that.
Yeah.
We're doing 6 concerts this year. Just enjoying. It's quite amazing, and I think right now we've got about 35 members, roughly, and I would say 10 of them are original members. So
Really?
Could be even more than that.
That's amazing. That's something.
It usually you can't quit. You usually die. Which it sounds kind of
morbid, but it's true anyway.
Yeah. But we've that's a sad part about it. But or the physicalness of their lips doesn't allow them to. They could practice. They can't get any strength.
Yeah.
And so
that makes sense.
And then we have enough percussionists.
I was going to say, you can't have 30 percussionists.
We got 5 already.
Yeah.
And we try to discourage anybody from. They all want. Hey, could we play? No, we got plenty. And there's very few songs where we don't have all the parts covered. Christmas time, our director Nick really loaded up the percussion parts, and so in one song we may have 3 different parts per person.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you were a percussionist,
Yeah,
weren't you?
so you have like different auxiliary things along with the main parts.
We'd have 5 parts: percussion 1, percussion 2, percussion 5, and each of those had 3 to 4 different parts. We have 5 players; each person got a part, but had to play like 3 different instruments during the time.
That was the one thing that I found that was fun about percussion is you didn't just have one instrument to play.
Yeah,
and you could play the timpani one time. You could play the snare drum, bass drum. You know, you could play the triangle or the suspended cymbal. There are all sorts of different things that you could play. You weren't just, and that's not a shot at other instruments. It was just you had a plethora of different instruments you could play and learn to play, which was fun.
Yeah, I played musical this year again, and I played the musical for 10 years now. I think they've had 12. I might have missed one. I missed one, I know. But it was a rock. It was Mean Girls, so rock beat. Mm-hmm. I'm not a rock drummer. You know, I could play Chicago because we played it for 15 years.
Sure.
You know, I could play that. But so the other guy who plays percussion with us, I told him, he's trying to learn the set. Mm-hmm. And so I said, here's a good chance for you to learn. And he did a nice job. But I got the auxiliary book. I looked it up to the instruments. 32 instruments I was supposed to play for the musical.
That's a couple.
I had to look some of them up. I didn't even know what they were.
Really?
Yeah. Tam Tam.
Oh,
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
What is that?
I got my phone on. I look at it. It's a gong.
Oh,
yeah.
it is.
Okay.
Just say gong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got it narrowed down to about 15. Like bongos, congas, bongos, djembes. I just played on the bongos, you know. Because
I see.
I couldn't have that much stuff with me, you know. It would have been impossible. Plus playing timpani and tuning the timpani between every song.
Mm-hmm. That's fun.
I got a phone app for that. The band director told me I should get this phone app, so I got it. And you know, I could hit a B flat, listen to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but try to do that
instead
when
of playing what's the little
the mouth
the little one we used to do that. You'd
hand tuner,
and you'd have to go down there, do it real quiet during the somebody was talking about the next piece, and you're like, hurry and get this up. I hope I get it right.
Yeah, but then I decided if it was close, that's good enough because you know, my part is like one part was boom, 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 and there were 8 other people playing that same part.
Oh, so it wouldn't matter so much.
So it didn't matter if I was spot on.
Yeah.
Just so they got that rhythm. Just so I got the rhythm right.
Yes. Yeah. So just for planning's sake, for us, when do your concerts start?
6:00.
But I'm sorry.
Oh,
for not the Conservancy, but the Iron Horse.
Oh, Iron Horse.
When will those concerts start so we would know when to try to get you back on to talk about that?
Well, our first one is Memorial Day.
It is.
So that's the 29th.
Okay.
And then our second one, well, and Memorial Day, you know, we've done those for years. I think you even helped us out one time. Which was very touching, if I remember. You were reading and we were playing.
I think that's right. Yeah.
And we'll get you back for that.
Okay.
And so, you know, we only play 4 or 5 songs. Then our first concert is the 6th in Black Earth.
Of June.
Of June.
Okay.
So if you wanted to go like the 31st of May, well, no, that's a Wednesday.
Well, we'll look at our schedule and try to make sure we get you up here to talk about that before that time, even if it's just a highlight of that, even if we don't go into the whole blown story, but we could because it's kind of it's the anniversary that you want to promote too, along with the concerts.
Yep.
So we'll work on having that. We'll get that done.
Okay. So those are the 2 start dates, Memorial Day and then Tuesday, got to get it right, the 6th.
Okay.
June 6th.
And that's
we'll
in Black
29th and 6th. We'll keep that down.
So let's talk about the Music Conservancy.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about is the Music Conservancy as old as your involvement in it? Did
Yes.
you begin it? Or you with some other folks?
Well, it was, let's see how it started. We used to, it was Staph Infection Band. It goes back to the roots of Staph Infection Band. And STAFF, okay, were originally all members of Mount Horeb teaching staff who got a band together to play in a fundraiser.
Okay.
After the fundraiser, there's still some people that wanted to keep playing because they hadn't, some of them had never been in a band before.
Mm-hmm.
And found they really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And so throughout the time, I would have to say that was around, I'd say, can't believe it's been that long. I'd say 05. That's what I.
So you're coming up on 20 years with that too.
Yeah. But so the band changes, people drop out, we get new people. Deb and our friend Joanne are the only two original members. And they both were teachers at Mount Horeb.
Okay.
So, so then we start playing. We start playing out. We play at the Red Mouse in Pine Bluff.
Mm-hmm.
We used to play Fridays afternoons, or we'd start at 6, be done by 9.
Okay.
Because we're old people. We don't want to start at 9 and get home at 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's not.
It's not your thing. Yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah.
So we started. We do it every Friday, first Friday. Okay, once a month. It was fit everybody, and we had other gigs too in the meantime. And then we, the last incarnation of, well, it wasn't the last, second to last. We invited Gene and Mike Kieser to play with us, and Mike Forkel, because they all live. Gene and Mike live in town, and Mike Kieser lives in Middleton.
Okay.
But, Heights grad.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to play with his dad.
Yeah.
And so we're playing gigs and just focusing on afternoons. Again, not wanting to stay out late.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bob Brumley, I don't know if you remember Bob.
The name is familiar.
Ran this art place downtown.
Oh, okay.
This art gallery.
Okay.
And we were friends. He decided that he was going to buy what we call the Beehive Church, and thought it would be a good place to play music. Okay, and it was phenomenal. So we did some remodeling. Had a small stage, like just 2 steps off the floor, so the crowd was right with you, And so we said, why don't we really thought First Fridays were success. The Red Mouse was packed. There were 200 people in there who'd come to play or listen to us play.
Really? Huh.
So we said, well, let's do First Fridays. And what we'll do is Staph Infection will play for 2 hours, and then we'll have a jam. Okay. All right. And we did that for...
Which means jam. Other people can just come on, join,
Yep.
grab their guitar or whatever.
Yep. And invite other musicians. And so we used to have some pretty nice jams, but if you've ever been involved in a jam, they can be really good or they can be really bad.
Depends who comes to jam, right?
Yeah. Or if they don't know the etiquette of a jam, or if they are no good, they know one song. Well, go ahead and play it, and we'll play along with you. Just tell us what key it's in, and we'll figure it out. And so we ended up figuring this jam isn't working. It's really hard work, and people are leaving. When we get done. So why don't we cut it back? We'll play for an hour and 15. Then we'll hire another band to come in and follow us up.
So now, Jim, this is when did you buy the old Episcopal church, the Beehive Church? When did you buy that?
Well,
when did Bob buy that?
Bob bought that. I wanted to say, I'd have to say around 05, I'd say.
Okay, so the Conservancy, that's kind of when the Conservancy started, if you will.
Yeah.
You left the Red Mouse, if you will, and started to focus on that venue, and that became the location of the Conservancy.
Right. And we had a sign that says, because he was renting it out, but not a lot, because we were only there one night a month.
David was there, I think, piano man.
Dave had piano lessons there.
I remember that.
And then, Dave eventually joined our group.
He did. Okay.
Yeah. And then he moved to, where's the Football Hall of Fame?
Canton,
Ohio. But he's moving back now. Well, we got another piano player, so I don't.
Dueling piano players.
Organist maybe or
we
something.
don't need 8 people.
Jazz organist.
Because I run the sound.
Okay, yeah.
And so I don't need one more. Yeah. But
I got you off track. I just wanted to for me, because some of the folks listening, they won't, or watching, they won't know those things, but I just wanted to see if that was kind of the start where you got that location. And so
that was the start.
Got it.
That was when we decided we want to continue to play, but we don't want to play late at night, and we want to play in front of people. So the first show, we had people bring their own lawn chairs, like it was an outdoor concert, because we didn't have any chairs. We got a very serious contribution after that first show, and we bought chairs. But eventually what happened, which happens, is that we could no longer fit in that building. People, it was packed, people outside, people bring chairs to sit, listen outside. And we thought, man, we're doing people a disservice.
What would that hold?
70. Yeah, and I think the community building holds like 150 or something like that. So we're able to double it. Plus, part of the deal was we told Bob we'd mow the lawn and shovel the snow, because we knew that he probably wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes the water would freeze there. And, what do? You got 70 people and you don't have a bathroom. What do? You can't. You can't do it. You can't go on.
Right.
No. So when we moved over, it was mostly, though, because of the space.
What year did you, how long were you there in the church building?
Well, let's say, I'm all basing this on my retirement.
Yes.
Because that's about the only date I remember. It's 2011.
That sticks out in your mind.
Yeah. I would say we probably started there around, I would say, let's say 07, I would say. And I would say we've been at the community building. We were there 3 years before COVID.
Okay.
So that would have been around 2017. That's not right, though. I bet we were there 5 years before COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that way that would put us about 7 or 8 years at the Conservancy Hall.
Okay, at the church, former church building, and then then you've been a total of what, 5-6 years at?
Yeah, I'd say since 15. I would just guess
with
that.
the parenthesis of the COVID year and a half.
Yeah,
or two.
where we didn't do anything for 2 years.
Sure.
Our last show was March of 2020, and we had just got our new sound system, and it's really hard. I mean, there's so many things to it. Closed down for 2 years. We had to get it out and set it up and practice with it. We rent the community building when everybody had their shots and everything, and then we would have practice, and so we could get this stuff out and get to know how to use it again.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing. Plus, we hadn't played anywhere either in maybe 2 years.
Did you find that moving from the church building with probably pretty good acoustics, smaller space, to all of a sudden a bigger space, was that more difficult with the acoustics and such?
Yeah, it was, even though the community building has real good acoustics. It's got the soft ceiling, hard floor, but it's fine. One thing we debated, though, was we're going to do our first show, we'll do it from the stage. Second day, we'll do it from the floor. Okay, because we were so used to having the fans right here. I mean, truly, they'd be, and so we set up on the stage and never did go to the floor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we talked to everybody. He said, "How was it okay?
Yeah.
I mean, did you feel the same hominess,
Yeah.
the same closeness?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Yeah, we felt the same
You
closeness."
can get fairly close to this. It's not like some of those big venues you watch, those rock or country.
Yeah.
They're like 100 yards away, and it's just
You're
hard
basically
to
watching the screen that they're on.
It just doesn't seem like it would be that much fun to watch or to perform in front of, because you feel so far from but you felt the connection there, and
and it everything worked out so well that we don't have to shovel the sidewalk, we don't have to mow the grass, air conditioners work.
So do you have to rent the building, and you have to, do you still hire one band?
Yep.
Is it always one band? It's
Yeah.
Staff Infection, still the same plan as far as the program? You guys go an hour and 15 minutes, and then it's and how long do they go?
Yep. And then they'll go till 9, or if they want to play over, they can.
Okay.
A lot of them, you get warming up, you get going, and you get your set list. Is it okay if we finish the set? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, because we don't really have any hard deadline. Like, we're not going to get closed down if we go to 9:30, because it's in the building. And so we've even made another adjustment. We built a cabinet to store all of our equipment, because I used to store it at home. So back the car up, load it up.
Transportation.
You didn't have any groupies, or what do they call roadies? You didn't have roadies. You had to do it yourself.
No, it was me.
Yeah.
And then unload it, set it up, break it down, load it.
And that can be a little hard, even if it's built for traveling. It can be a little hard on equipment and stuff like that.
It's really nice.
And your back.
We found with this stuff, it's nice to just have it in one spot too.
Yeah.
Like we took this down to 1855, and it's like then getting it back here. And
Oh yeah,
it's just nice to have it set.
Same type
it's there,
of thing.
and it's
yeah. Where we can't leave it set up because there's other groups that use the community building. But we put this cart on wheels. We wheel it out. As you know, it's rolling up chords. It takes so long. If you got 18 inputs, it's 18 chords. 17, Mike has Forkel has a wireless for his fiddle. Okay. So we just plug the receiver in. But it's 18 chords. Some of them are 50 footers. Well, that's not counting the 4 monitors and 2 speakers, which are all powered. So that's all electric's got to go to them, plus cables. Yeah, it takes 3 of us break down. Some we won't let them because
they'll break it down.
They'll especially chords, when you're dealing with that many, they got to be right, because if they're wrong, and they're not there to help set up. So you get one that's been wound up and it's all twisted.
Yeah, you got to train those chords, don't you?
Yeah, I'll just do all that. I don't care because I know they'll be done right. When I get done.
Well, that's nice of it's nice of the community building. I don't know. I'm saying it's nice. It seems like it's nice that they're allowing you to have a little cabinet there, because that saves. You guys must use it so regularly too, which is nice for them.
Yeah.
You're a returning client that pays every
month, and the number of people that we bring downtown who can enjoy, the hop house, the apothecary, or the whatever
coffee shop, all those things that are down there.
Yeah, the coffee shop's not open,
That's
that
true.
late at
3
night.
o'clock it's closed.
But it's still, though, it just brings people to downtown Mazo, which is, I think, what like most village boards would want that to happen. You know, especially family entertainment. You could bring your kids too. I mean, we don't do kids songs or anything, but we do a PG version of everything.
Sure.
You know, we're not wild up there.
Smashing guitars and
wild outfits and stuff. The Kiss outfits.
Mr. Schroeder's jumping into the crowd,
body surfing.
You know, that would nobody catch me for one thing. Or else they would go, oh no,
get another hand over here. So I didn't know. That's news to me. Some of that stuff. And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. We don't like to put people on the spot, so it's just say pass.
Oh, sure.
But since staph infection is such an important part, I mean, it's every week, every month, I should say, every concert. Who are the members of staph infection now? Do you mind mentioning them so we can hear names and what they play?
You probably would see their pictures down at the post office if you went down there.
On the most wanted.
So the head of staph infection is Deb. Schroeder. She formed it at Mount Horeb. She's still she makes the decisions about when we play, if we play, that kind of thing. The other female is Joanne Preen, recently retired first grade teacher from Mount Horeb.
Okay, so they're two of the originals.
The two original members. She plays fiddle and guitar and vocals. Deb plays guitar and vocals. Everybody sings. So we have 7 microphones set up. And what we do is in the jam setting, we just go in a circle. Okay.
So you still do a jam?
No.
But you do a jam setting.
We operate, that's how we pick out who sings. It's who's ever next.
Really?
So we just go in the circle and it.
So you might do the same song with a different soloist?
No, they would do their own song.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay, but
they all submit like 3 songs.
Okay.
That they want to do, and then so that we can just get the key right, because that's the important part.
Okay.
And so Deb will sing a song, and Joanne will do a song, and then Mike and Rick. And,
Mike Forkel.
Mike Forkel is our fiddle player and guitar player. He's the president of the MMC, Mazomanie Music Conservancy. We had a group there in, I forget. No, she just blends together. The other MMC, Madison Motorcycle Club. They gave us some money for our organization to keep these events going. So that's a whole longer story.
Okay.
Okay. So then Steve Bailey's plays lead guitar, and he's from North Bristol, near Sun Prairie. Him and Mike have been in bands for a long, long time.
Okay.
And so they're when Gene passed away about 3 years ago or 4 years ago now, we needed a lead guitar player. He has sat in with us before, and so we asked him if he wanted to, and he said, yeah. And then John Donaldson plays piano for us. Mm-hmm. When Dave left, we asked John, who used to play with Forkel and
Tracks Out of Town.
Tracks Out of Town. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have 4 members of Tracks Out of Town.
Okay.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, who
play still.
And so they're starting to bring in more, because Tracks dissolved last December. Mm-hmm. That was their last show. So they're starting to incorporate more of their songs, which is okay, because it's their. If it's your turn, you can do whatever song you want. Just so, hopefully we've practiced it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we haven't.
Then it's a jam session.
And then it's just tell us the key and we can play it. And then let's see, Rick Becker plays drums.
Okay.
Longtime Madison drummer. played in a lot of bands in Madison. He's Mike's roommate.
Okay.
So again, our son John played drums with us for a few years, and then he lived in Madison at the time. He didn't want to drive out once a month, and so we asked Rick, and Rick's been playing with us. And then Mike Keyser plays bass.
Okay.
So, and I play bass or electric.
Electric,
yeah.
Okay.
I can play bass or drums, but we have better musicians playing those than me. So I just run the sound.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
If somebody's absent, we can generally get somebody to run the sound, and then I'll play bass.
Well,
or drums.
Like the engineer in a radio station, like the person behind in a record type production place, the sound man is critically important to the band.
Yeah.
I mean, it can make or break you.
It does. One of the, and especially a small venue, where one instrument can be overpowering. And then I go talk to the person and I say, I've got you all the way down. You need to turn it down.
Yeah.
And then if you need more monitor, I can put more in the monitor for you.
Sure.
However that works.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen because these musicians are all experienced musicians, and they've all been playing for years and years and years together now. So we know almost, we probably have 500 songs we could do. And so we know most of them. But, we haven't put out a CD. We have 2 CDs, Staph Infection. And we haven't, I wanted to say that again was while I was still working. So it's been more than 12 years since we've put out a CD.
So Deb is the decision maker. She's not the president. Mike's the president.
Mike's the president of the MMC.
MMC. Yeah. Okay. She's the president. She's the
Staph
CEO,
infection.
the main person, the boss of
Yeah.
of the staph infection.
Of staph infection.
Is she also the a lot of bands, they don't necessarily always have like the person that's kind of the music director, but would she be that? Would she be the person that not only makes decisions of who where you're going to play and stuff like that, but also this is how we're going to do it. And these are the songs we're going to have for this concert.
Everybody just selects their own songs.
Okay, and then they just put them in the.
And again, enough experience to know that if we're doing 2 waltzes in a row, that we should probably follow it up with maybe a dance song or something.
Sure.
And but sometimes it's tough, especially if you're in the set list, to throw something new in. But again, there's they know so many songs that they can just say, I'm going to do this song, and everybody knows it already. Yeah, we still rehearse too. I think we're rehearsing Thursday.
Okay.
Not everybody rehearses, but the core rehearse and go through new songs. So every Friday, first Friday, even though the majority of the crowd is an older crowd, that they probably forget what songs we played last Friday.
Yeah, that's helpful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Play it again. I haven't heard that one before.
That's right. So, but we try to work new numbers in every month. And since I don't play that often with them, if I do get a chance, I just play the same songs that I always have played. Okay. Because they haven't heard them for 6 months.
Sure.
Or whenever the last time I played with them. So,
well, that's a fairly tall order for a band that's not professional, that not the quality necessarily, but being paid as musicians to come up with a new concert every single month. I know you probably replay some and mix some in there, but you still have to have a pretty good repertoire to be able to play enough songs. You said 500. There's something.
And each night we probably play between 15 and 20.
You do.
Okay, so that's about it. But we can make them as short as we want, and we can make them as long as we want. If you know, the philosophy of having a lead, okay, where, you know, you sing the first verse, sing the chorus, and then somebody plays a guitar solo. Okay, well, that extends the song.
Correct, yes.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have those solos, but you also want to give the player an opportunity to show their stuff.
Sure.
And so and then it extends a song if people are dancing too. But if we want to get more songs in, then we have less solos.
Sure. That makes sense.
You know, we could cut a minute off of every song, and after 10, it's time for another song, you know? And we generally, when the time's out on First Fridays, you know, we're warmed up, we're ready to go. So I believe this August, it's all staff infection all night. So we'll play until 7:30, take a break, and then we'll come back and finish the night up. Because that way you get to hear all the new stuff, a lot of the old stuff too, because in 3 hours you're probably looking at 35 songs. Yeah. And so
that's in August.
That'd be August.
Nice.
Yeah. Air conditioning. And another thing about our special guests is that we have October, November, December, and January, we have the same guests every month. So every November we have Richard Weigel, who's a very talented musician from Madison, friend of ours. December we have Tracks Out of Town. They'll get back together.
I was going to say
they'll get back together.
They're disbanded, but they can come back for a victory tour every year.
Yeah, 4 of them are already there.
Yeah, true.
Sure.
So just 2 more have to show up. Then in January, it's Richard and Jane Kapusta's band called Moonhouse. You familiar with Richard? They live out on Amenda Road.
Okay.
And I've known them for years and years. And their music is described as folkadelic. Okay.
Never heard that before. That's
so they're every January.
Okay.
And so they're just a great couple, and they have a great band. It's so much fun when they can join us. And then the other months, then we have sort of a rotating schedule where we'll select bands from not always the same. You know, they're usually every 2 or 3 years they'll get invited back.
Okay.
And then with COVID, you know, not doing it for 2 years, we found that most of the bands have stayed together and are very happy to come out here for the same reasons that we like to play. It's early, you get paid, you get good food, and you got a good crowd. All right, it's just really just an ideal setup for bands. So if you guys have any thoughts of, if you got any bands, we could sure
come up with one ourselves.
Entertain. Yeah. And we have musicians who could sit in with you too, who know.
Studio musicians, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe as we kind of wrap this up, give us kind of an overview. So it's the first Friday of every month, so people can plan on that. It starts at 6 o'clock. It ends around 9-ish, so they kind of know what to. There's almost always the staff infection that plays, and then there's another paid band that comes in. There's food and drink down there. Is that for purchase?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the tickets? Is it free to get in?
It's free to get in.
Okay.
And one of the things we do also is we do a 50-50 raffle.
Okay.
Because this year, it's the first year we'll be giving a scholarship. We haven't decided how much or how many, but it's going to be to some high school student who has been involved in music. Not necessarily going to go on into music, but has been involved in the band or choir or the musicals,
Is that the
Or all three.
MCC that's giving that, or staff infection?
That'll be MMC.
MMC.
Yeah,
MMC.
yeah, MMC, because we just felt that we're doing okay financially. During COVID, we kept a radio station going because First Fridays are actually fundraisers for the radio station.
Okay.
It takes about, we figured $300 a month overhead to run the station.
Mm-hmm.
And so we try to make that every month, and we do, but we get contributions from individuals and organizations.
Okay.
And so we've got enough money now to let's help. Let's branch out into our service to the community, and so plus that's brand new. So yeah, that's we start 6 o'clock, and it's just a pretty relaxing time.
And is that how? Just one last question: is that how
Sure.
Is that how Staff Infection and the MMC fund themselves? Is through donations, and also the food that you're able to sell and the
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. And people can donate. There's
Sure.
no charge to get in.
Sure.
If they have $20, we'll go eat for $5.
Yeah.
Get a couple of drinks, whatever. Buy a ticket for the
Raffle.
and then put the rest in. $20 night is a pretty
hard to beat that.
Yeah,
You
it
don't
is
have
hard
to
to beat.
drive very far either if you're local.
and it's early.
Yeah.
We could be home by 10, but generally this is the time when some of the band we put everything away and we sit down and we talk.
I see.
We talk about things coming up,
Yeah.
because
Your organizational meeting after the
because they're all, we're all friends.
Yeah.
And we've been friends for a really long time. And we've got, what do we have? This Staff Infection. See, the thing about it is that the MMC is because of Staff Infection. Okay. And so, Mike's the president, I'm the vice president, Deb's the treasurer, Mike and John are board of directors. So, but we don't have meetings very often. Well, I guess we could have a meeting every first Friday, to talk, and we talk business too.
Sure.
But it's we don't play a lot. But this summer we got some more gigs. Staff Infection has some more gigs. We're playing Memorial Day.
I saw that because we talked with Scott Johannick from the Chamber of Commerce, and you guys are doing that, and then the Memorial Day celebration.
Yeah. The community band will play in the community building, I think, for the celebration or the memorial service, I guess what it would be. Then the celebration, we got asked to play for that. And so now we're wondering if we should roll all our equipment over or all of us have enough equipment to do an analog job.
Okay.
So that's what we might do.
Yeah.
Set that up before the way we used to with
Sure.
snakes and, but,
Yeah.
and then we're playing a couple of birthday parties and this year, but again, all within our timeline, because it's tough to get up after playing a whole gig, First Fridays, Deb's there from 1 o'clock to 10. Yeah, I'm there from 4 o'clock to 10.
Yeah. It's a big commitment.
It is, but truly the joy that people have when you see them smiling, they hear a song, and they just feel so good. I mean, that's what it's all about. I don't get paid anything. Well, you get what you pay for, as far as sound.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
And it's just that because this organization means a lot more to me than just any money. It's friendships, the teamwork that has to go into this. the collaboration. Anything you want in an organization we have that. So
you get to do it with the community, for the community, and maybe give a scholarship too. So that's
yeah,
nice
that'll be our first
fringe.
one, and we're so excited to be able to do that. We'll have to talk to the music pro. Being that a lot of the community band members play in the pit orchestra, so Mr. Lane, who's the new director, we know each other quite well. So it'll be a pleasant thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Who can we give some money to?
Yes, that's always fun to hear. They don't get that very often, I'm sure.
No.
Well, we'll thank you for spending time with us, and we'll get you back to talk about the. I'd like. Well, what do you say?
The Iron Horse.
The Iron Horse.
Band.
Yes,
Band,
right.
yeah.
Your anniversary. We'll get a separate time where we can just talk about that.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can sometime have a chat about the radio station, the founding of that, and all of that. So I'd like to hear more about that.
That has been a really exciting adventure for us too. I think I think the original license is for 5 years. I want to think.
Okay.
And we just renewed it last year. Yeah, we just got it renewed.
Okay.
So we've been doing it for 6 or 7 years now. Who would have thought that we'd be able to have a radio station that does do announcements and things like that. But so
let's save that for the next time we get together.
Definitely,
So,
you make it pretty easy to sit here and just talk.
That's what we
hope to. Yeah, we like to just have a
to be laid
conversation
back.
with people. So thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, very happy to be here. You're doing a good service too to let the community know what's going on. And once I see this on YouTube, I'll send it out.
Yep.
So it'll probably get like 30 or 40 likes.
Nice. Well, we'll take them, I guess. Huh?
Better than zero.
Yeah. All right.
And we are back with you on episode number 57.
That's true.
The original father-son voiceover podcast. Hudson's just getting things reset up after our very informative and interesting talk with, I'm kind of stalling because you said off mic and off camera that you wanted to come in and talk about our guest.
Yeah, don't take my...
To steal your thunder.
I was just going to say thanks to Jim for taking time out of his afternoon to come sit and talk with us about the MMC. And we plan on having Jim on at least once a month. We don't know how that will go, but we hope that happens. And you've got something else.
Well, our hope is to have some of the organizations, some of the civic organizations of Mazo represented on a regular basis toward the end of the month, highlighting the month to come, their events and activities and plans. I've talked to Judy Curtis, friend of the podcast. She's a part of the Lions Club of Mazo. She's also part of the Mazo Historical Society. She's going to be checking with some people there to see if a representative would come, along with Jim Schroeder from the Music Conservancy and the Iron Horse Band, is it? Cornet Band? One of the local bands around here, the orchestra bands, and also Scott Johannick from Chamber Chatter. So we hope to have them each month to highlight what those civic organizations are doing. There we go.
All right, so we're back, and Drew has got, what do you got for us?
I decided we were long overdue for this day in history.
You bet.
Nice. I think Judy Curtis. Sorry, Judy, not you. Sally Morrill was.
She voted
wanting.
For that. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, this day in history.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So.
Well, this day in history that we have all queued up and ready to go is May 10th.
All right.
And if people don't know the rules of this day in history, here are the rules.
Okay.
We talk about different historical events that happen this day
That's rule number 1.
in history.
Okay. Is that
And I don't mind interruptions.
okay? So that's rule number 2. You don't mind.
I don't mind interruptions. I
May
can be interrupted.
10th, 1988, I officially stopped working at the college that I was working at in Michigan.
Oh.
I had resigned, and Mom and I moved back here on May 20th in 1988. Johnny
what kind
was
of
a year and a half.
prospects did you have?
I think
any
when you
jobs?
I think when you fired the college, that's what
I
happened.
fired the college. Yep.
Quit. Fired.
They didn't fire me. I resigned of my own volition. Yeah, I
Weren't
think
you
so.
doing
On your own
weren't you
volition.
doing odd jobs?
I came back here. We don't want to get off on that. That's going to be a story in and
Handyman
of itself. But I
odd
did
jobs.
do
It is this day in history.
I did do odd jobs, which is very strange because I'm not handy at all. But John and Helen Wick, John Senior and Helen Wick, they hired me to do their lawn. It was the drought year, the summer of 1988. Some of you will remember. Judy Curtis will remember this. Other people will remember this. Dick Royston. Those guys, the old timers, will remember 1988. It was a drought year. It was very hot, very dry. And so I worked for John and Helen doing lawn care work and also some handyman work. And I worked for John Traeger. It was wild. Anyway,
What
I
was the name of
resigned
your
on May
business?
10th of 1988.
What's the name of your business? Todd Jobs.
So about you gotta
Odd
get that
jobs.
thing up to your face.
Was it Todd Jobs?
Todd's and ends.
That
Todd's and
doesn't work.
Ends. Yep. Nope. It was just I was
Joe.
just in need of a. Your
Well,
microphone.
My
You're not-
presence
you're-
is not very good
You're
right now.
about as far away as John is sometimes, and
I just
be
Tough.
I just needed a job.
Mm-hmm.
We were in between jobs. I was going to go help start a radio station up in Green Bay, and we were just going to be here a few months. So I just needed some odd jobs just to pay the bills.
Okay.
Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the real
That was
meaty
this
stuff.
day in history, though.
Yep,
That's
in
Dad's,
our lives.
according to Dad.
1988.
That was before you were born. Just before you were born.
Just the year before I was born.
Yep.
Yep. So I've got we're rewinding way back from 1988. We're going to 1497.
oh, 5 years
I
after.
should have waited until you were up to the 80s.
Yeah, I
that
should-
would have
yeah,
been.
that would've
I
been
was so
perfect.
excited. About
Well, and who knows? It might be in there.
Yeah, never
And
thought
I
about
won't
that.
be able to cover it the second time. The Italian navigator Amerigo Vespucci leaves for his first voyage to the New World. Sometimes they put different things on here, like this one says disputed. That's disputed.
Did you?
Is it Vespucci or Vespucci?
Vespucci.
Vespucci.
Okay.
Well,
I
you
think
you said that
Vespucci.
so fluently. It's
Yeah.
I would never
Rolled
have
right off
questioned
his
it.
tongue.
Yeah,
Yep.
Is
Italian.
that Latin or Italian?
It's Italian.
Drew
Okay.
Barsness, historian, Vespucci historian,
Linguist,
Vespucci.
Italian linguist.
Yep. He participated in at least 2 voyages on the Age of Discovery. First on the behalf of Spain, he did it, 1499 to 1500. Then for Portugal, 1501, 1502. This is what's kind of disputed about it. He talked about claimed the New World, and they when they mapped it, they put America, which is loosely based off of his first name, Amerigo. Oh.
That's interesting.
Yep.
I wonder if he started Amerigas.
Probably not. Another navigator, 1534, French, Jacques Cartier, reaches Newfoundland.
Is it Newfoundland or Newfoundland?
Newfoundland.
Well, I heard somebody. Remember we watched that thing, Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
That's what I was saying.
They found a new land, Newfoundland.
That's
But
really
people say Newfoundland
good for
usually, or
them.
Newfoundland. Anyway,
Newfoundland.
Yep. Cartier was the first. Cartier was the first European to navigate the St. Lawrence River, and his explorations of the river and the Atlantic coast of Canada on 3 expeditions from 1534 to 1542 laid the basis for later French claims to North America. Cartier is also credited with naming Canada.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't it the St. Lawrence waterways that go from the Atlantic all the way to the Great Lakes?
I think you
I
might
think
be
they
right.
do.
I think
So
might
you
be
can
right.
get all the way. I was watching something about Africa and how landlocked they are, even though their coasts aren't easily navigable, and so that's why they sometimes have a hard time trading, exporting and importing. And then, of course, the topography and stuff. But the United States is perfect for that because You can get to their ports very easily. They're protected, and you can get inland to other waterways. Anyway, I just thought that was
because
interesting.
of the river and lakes.
Byways.
Mississippi River all the way up, and to the Great Lakes, the St. Lawrence. That's the end of my knowledge. With
Well, that's
so
pretty
don't
deep.
don't ask me any
That's not
questions. Don't ask me any questions about that.
Better than others. Well, I mean, and,
I
anybody knows any other information that
Todd's
would go
Riverway
against that?
expert.
I almost
Import,
want
export,
to invoke
expert.
our disclaimer, just because somebody out there watching is going to say that's not
none of that's
completely
true.
right.
Not of that's true.
Some of it's true.
Some of it's
A
true.
lot of it's true.
In 1652, John Johnson, a free African American, is granted 550 acres in Northampton, Virginia. You know how those, John's son, a lot of times then, how that was never,
John's son.
that was never broken then, because his son, if his name was John, he would also be John Johnson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, rather than Eric, John's son, and then you would be
Eric.
something Eric's son.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
John Eric's
Norskis did
son.
Yeah.
We keep it real simple for us.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
1774, Louis XVI ascends to the throne of France, sometimes known as the last king of France before the fall of the monarchy during the French Revolution. He was executed in 1793. French Revolution.
He and Marie Antoinette.
Right. Yeah,
Wait,
let them make
17,
cake.
what was that, 1793?
Well, he was executed then.
Yeah, I think Thomas Jefferson came over and
Was
helped
a part
that.
of it. Yeah.
Yep.
He thought it was good to overthrow the government about every 10 years.
Yeah.
So he went over. He was a mercenary.
That was back-
overthrowing of governments. He just went different
that
That
places.
was back when revolts were doing real well.
Yeah.
When the what?
That's back when revolts were doing real
Yeah,
well.
I guess.
Yeah.
Try saying revolt without a.
Some of what
accent.
I was reading on Louis the 16th. So they are having lots of economic problems, financial crisis, and they helped out. Americans, if you will. They helped out, the American Revolution. So that got them even more into debt. So maybe Thomas Jefferson felt obligated to go over and help because of their help that they gave us.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But didn't he help overthrow them?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He helped him so much.
Too much. He was helping too much.
He pushed them over the top.
Yeah. Two 1775 dates here. The Second Continental Congress convenes in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and issues paper currency for the first time.
Right here.
Yep, 76ers. 1775, also same day, busy for the Second Continental Congress. They named George Washington Supreme Commander.
Hey, look up this, Joe.
Yes.
At Information Central.
Okay.
Look up when the U.S. Treasury Department was formed, because how they started doing dollar currency, paper currency.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Treasury was already there, if that was in
place.
in place, or if it was kind of at the same time. When was that formed?
1789.
When was it? When was this?
This was 1775.
14 years
So they
later.
didn't even
14
have
years
a
later.
Treasury Department, and they were issuing money,
Right.
paper money.
Yep.
Okay, instead of barter.
I think that
and
each
things like that.
state
Is that it?
thing
Yeah,
had
each
their own.
state, I think, had their
had
own
their own
currency.
currency.
Their office holders, Janet Yellen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Currently.
Okay.
Another first for the United
Thanks, Joe.
States. 1797, first U.S. Navy ship. A long time. First U.S. Navy ship was launched.
Oh.
Back in 97.
Back in 97 of 1700. Yep. In 1801, I didn't know this, when you probably don't either until I tell you. 1801, first Barbary War. The Barbary pirates of Tripoli declare war on the United States of America. This is our first U.S. foreign war.
Was it over haircuts?
Wait, that's our first foreign war? So
Yeah.
you mean when we went?
When we were established as the
Okay.
United States.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
Was it
Not
over haircuts?
Barbary.
Barbary.
Bribery.
Is there a
That's
Barbary
multiple
coast? Is
that's
that
multiple
it? Is that
barbers.
I
where-
think so.
That's
yeah.
a bunch of mad barbers. Is a Barbary.
The island of Tripoli.
Okay.
That's what because they were kind of a pirate nation, and so they were already at war with Sweden, and the United States said, "Well, we'll go help you out."
Oh,
yeah, read
how
up
did
on
you
it a
know
little
on
bit.
that? That's very
Took a little time to read a little history on some of these things. Please don't ask any more questions on that.
Just enough to scratch the surface.
Yep. Another first here, 1823, the first steamboat to navigate the Mississippi River arrives at Fort Snelling.
Minnesota, right?
Don't know.
Okay.
Where's Fort Snelling, Joe?
I'm going to take a look right now. Mainly just to prove
Do
John.
we have time for
hopefully
this?
that John's wrong.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I know you don't mind interruptions.
Minnesota.
It is
There you
okay.
go.
St.
Fort
Snelling.
Paul.
St.
Historic
Paul.
Fort Snelling.
So it must have been prepared to go all the way down.
Yep. Make the what's that called? The maiden voyage.
Maiden voyage.
When you go down the Mississippi, I've never done it, either by road or by boat, whatever kind of boat. Do they still? I wonder if there are still forts, because they had forts all along the Mississippi to protect the inner parts of the United States during like the Revolutionary War, Civil War, things like that. I don't know if they still have spots to protect, or if some of those
You're
still
talking about
exist.
are active?
Active, or at
they-
least even just some of the old ones that are still there that are historical.
They have one in the Quad Cities.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that fort is called, but they've
yeah.
got which one? It's part of the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what you're talking about.
Davenport. Where was it?
No, it's in Rock
Moly-
Island.
Moly-
I think
We
it's Rock
went
Island.
on there, remember, and
Rock Island
they
Armory?
were suspicious
They're
of
very,
us,
they're very serious.
and we could drive around there, but they checked you out pretty good.
Yeah,
there.
which fort is by Rock Island?
Rock Island,
Illinois, there you go. Oh, places.
U.S. Army Headquarters, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Rock Island
Rock
District.
Island Arsenal.
That's
Probably
that's
that.
probably it. Yeah.
Yeah, we went on there and you had to sign
Dennis
all sorts of
Rodman
stuff. You had
Avenue?
to pay some money.
Yeah, we had to
kinda
go.
like-
Remember, we had to get out of our car and go into that
We all-
place and
yeah.
and sign.
Didn't
It
we?
was
And
weird.
we
It was
ended
kinda
up
weird.
kind of pulling
Didn't
out
we-
of doing it
we
because
didn't
of
end
Yeah.
up doing it.
It was
yeah.
long wait or something.
Oh, we
or-
did. We didn't actually do
We
it,
left.
did we?
That's
Yeah.
correct. We
I
left.
think it was
There
more
were too many
difficult to
people.
get into than
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it was even that nice of a day. I think it was just something we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we doing back
And
then?
we picked up Joe's Trailblazer.
That's right.
We
Man.
bought a 2005 Trailblazer
that
that we just
being-
got rid of just a few months
Was
ago.
that before or after? It broke
2002.
down after we bought
It broke down on the way home. Too.
2002.
Hey, put that. Hey, Damon, put that picture of Barney on his first car when he's driving.
That
That's what
was Joe.
looks like.
Dark
it was
place.
He
2002.
was driving it, and then he got out and had you drive the rest of the way home.
Everything will be fine. Just fine.
Just run out of water, Barn. A little extra grease, that don't mean anything.
He's sitting there like this.
It was his first. In defense, it was his first car.
Yeah,
There's nothing worse than
so
buying your
excited,
first
too.
car and
He was
then
so excited and that happens.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Dad will
tough.
sit here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had got it quite a ways too. Before all of a sudden it had
I thought
problems.
it didn't. I thought it wasn't
You
very
stopped,
far.
like, at a
I
gas
thought we-
station.
Well,
and
at
then-
first fell apart, and then we pulled into a gas station, and then it got quite a ways. Then
Stopped at the
it
stop
stopped,
sign.
and we couldn't
Yeah.
go any farther.
Then I got home.
It
Yep.
did.
And
somehow.
it ran for.
It ran when it shouldn't.
And I was proud to have it there for the last
Yep.
bit.
It was
And in
2002,
fact,
so it was almost needed its classic plates on it.
we traded it in.
Yeah.
Just 3 months ago, and the man that bought it said that's exactly the vehicle his son was looking for. He's 16 years old at Sauk. He's a junior or something. He was going to try to refurbish it.
I think
So
I
it's
think
still-
his exact words was, "You got to be kidding me."
That's what it was. Yeah.
That's the same car.
Could drive by Sauk school and see if we can't hear it.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, you can.
They'll-
Hopefully they'll
He'll
fix
probably
some of
be
those
yeah,
things.
probably be nice.
Oh, it's a growler.
1837 was the Panic of 1837. New York City banks fail and unemployment reaches record levels. Within 2 months, the losses from bank failures in New York alone aggregated nearly $100 million. Out of 850 banks in the United States, 343 closed entirely, 62 failed partially. It's a partial fail. And the system of state banks received a shock from which it never fully recovered. But I don't know when this was last updated because, I'm sure it recovered at some point.
Maybe it never has.
Never fully
We
recovered.
just had 3 3 United States banks fold, I think, and one other bank in World Bank of some sort.
Maybe they're still feeling the effects.
Right, from 1837. That's why I put it in there, just so you know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
1869, Golden Spike was driven, completing the first U.S. transcontinental railroad at Promontory Summit. Promontory Summit, Utah.
I wonder how long that gold spike lasted there. If
They pulled it right out.
I hope so. They did?
They did. Yeah, there were 4 spikes that they drove in,
Okay.
and they pulled them all out to have them. Now a couple of them are in museums and stuff.
I was going to say, I don't think those last very
Wouldn't
long.
have lasted very long. So this one connected the Central Pacific Railroad with the Union Pacific. So this was a piece that I was not aware of, because I always thought that just connected everything and then we were all good to go. Although the Promontory event marked the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad line, it did not actually mark the completion of a seamless coast-to-coast rail network. Neither Sacramento nor Omaha was a seaport, nor did they have rail connections until after they were designated as the termini. That's a term for terminal, because it's one. The Mossdale Bridge, which was the final section across the San Joaquin River near Lathrop, California, was finally completed in September 1869, connecting Sacramento and California. Passengers were required to cross the Missouri River between Council Bluffs, Iowa, and Omaha, Nebraska by boat until the building of the Union Pacific Missouri River Bridge in 1872, which was 3 years later. In the meantime, a coast-to-coast rail link was achieved in August 1870 in Strasburg, Colorado, by the completion of Denver extension of the Kansas Pacific Railway. So anyway, all that to say that they didn't technically have, because you still had to get on a boat to cross the Missouri River in order to get on another train.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, there you go. Here we go. 1877, U.S. President Rutherford B. Hayes has first White House, Haas, yeah.
It's Swiss. It's Switzerland.
Yeah, he was Swedish.
White House.
Yeah, White House. The White House telephone installed in the telegraph room. First telephone was installed.
Seems like it's the wrong place for that.
Right.
Should be. Yeah.
It's probably just the communications area, Joe.
Mm-hmm. What year was that?
That was 1877.
Just think, no telephone in the White House.
Isn't Pearl Hayes related distantly to Rutherford?
I don't know. Hayes.
I feel like that's true.
I don't know.
By marriage.
By marriage.
Well, is it? But Drew, isn't one of those things like us being related to?
No.
Daniel Boone and
Davy Crockett.
Native
Maybe Bob
American.
could tell us that. He could probably tell us
Let's
that.
ask
I feel
Bob
like
Wick.
that's just something people say.
Well,
I mean, it
find
can't,
out.
and not everybody can say it.
Yeah.
She'd only
She
be
at
ma-
least
she'd
has
only
the
be
right
related
last
by-
name.
That's true.
Yeah.
We don't. Our
We
last
didn't
name
have
isn't Boone.
True.
No.
That's a great
Well, somebody has to be related to them. It might
Might
as
as
well
well
be
be
us.
us.
That was
Yeah.
what one of Mom's relatives said.
Which is par for the course for her relatives.
Speaking of mothers, 1908, first Mother's Day observed in Philadelphia. So not just the city of brotherly love, but also the city of motherly love.
Motherly love. Nice.
And this is going to be playing the week after. I mean, the few days after Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Did you guys have any big plans for your mother? Did you do anything?
Yeah.
We'll
We
have
don't
to
want
tell you
to
on this
spoil it on the
podcast.
right here.
Well, no, this is going to play next week, so you can say what you did
Yeah.
for her.
Oh, yeah, and people would never know.
People never know.
Unless
Yeah.
they wanted an update.
I bought her a new car.
Better leave
I
it
chipped
there.
in.
Yeah. Maybe
chipped
You
in.
probably do what you guys do for a lot of special events. You probably buy some food for her so she doesn't have to cook it all.
True.
Which she really enjoys, just being able to hang out then and not have to be in the kitchen.
That's a good
And then-
idea.
And then we clean up.
Yeah,
Things like that.
You do the cleanup.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
1915,
There you go.
Canadian physician Cluny McPherson. I think it's Cluny.
Cluny?
Cluny.
Clooney.
Maybe it's Clooney.
Cluny would be with 2 N's, wouldn't it?
Hey, back to Mother's Day for just a
I know.
second. What kind of pizza did you have last night in that pan type
That was
thing?
good.
Motor City.
Motor City, where'd you get that?
MCDC.
Costco.
Okay, maybe that's what we'll do
Yeah.
for Mother's Day.
That was
good.
really good.
It was very
Yeah.
good.
It's very good.
You didn't have any?
That's because you were still at home.
Oh, that's
You were icing.
That's
ice in
true.
your
I
arm.
was ice.
Okay, sorry. Back to Cluny.
1915, Canadian physician Clooney McPherson first presents his gas mask invention to the British War Office. So that was you can pull up the first gas mask.
What, 1915?
Yeah.
So that was
Right at
just prior.
Prior to the
I wonder
First
if they
World War.
knew that there were threats.
What was the name of the guy?
Clooney.
The Germans.
C-L, that's G.
The Germans did mustard gas, and I think we might have done some
NY.
gas
Yeah.
stuff in World War One.
McPherson.
Clooney McPherson.
It's a Scottishman.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is. It's not going to do much.
That's
Is that just a burlap bag?
Looks like it.
but there was
This is real great for you.
they explained what was in it. There was like
It
some
looks like a bell.
Is
there
that
was
the,
some
is
something.
are there other images there? Can you go up to the images, or
Yep.
is that what you pressed?
That is.
I mean, I'm talking up to the left there, Joe Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to be careful.
Oh, okay.
It shows a wide variety of stuff sometimes.
Oh, okay. My
You don't
bad.
know what you're going to get yourself
Okay.
into.
Yeah.
But that was it. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the first gas mask.
Maybe Damon can put a little picture up there if he wants to.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first one. It looks scary, but I suppose it certainly would beat inhaling
Whatever.
Mustard gas.
Yeah.
toxic gas. 1924, J. Edgar Hoover appointed head of FBI. 1940, Winston Churchill succeeds Neville Chamberlain as British Prime Minister.
I've always thought that's a weird word, succeeds. Because it's like, I don't know. It seems like a bad, like, I know it's a good thing for the person that succeeds him, but for the person that doesn't, it's not.
Well, he's the successor.
Proceeds, then he would
Yeah.
proceed.
Predecessor.
So that was what year?
1940.
1940.
That was on the cusp of
It was before.
World War.
Because they went to
II.
World War. They were. We were in World War II in 1941, but Europe, Britain, they were, I think, in 1939.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, because I think it wasn't going well, and they decided to get rid of
39 to
Neville.
45, right?
Neville was, I think, at first at least, was kind of suckered in with Hitler. Kind of wanted to be at peace with him, and
Kinda
Winston
let him
Churchill
do-
said, "I don't think this guy's going to go for peace. I think we're going to have to fight."
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of in a nutshell.
Reader's Digest version.
Yep.
1966, speaking of colder weather that we had like about a week ago, 1966, 25 degrees Fahrenheit, lowest temperature ever recorded in Cleveland in May.
Wow.
This is May 10th. 25 degrees, so we were kind of not feeling real great about the weather a week ago when it was in the 50s, but 25, that would
That's
not be
chilly.
fun.
That'd be cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's
cold out there.
1994, Nelson Mandela sworn in as South Africa's first black president. How about
Was in
that?
prison for all those years during apartheid, and all of a sudden became the leader.
Yeah. Last one we've got here. In the year 2000, India's population reaches 1 billion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Baby girl Atha, born at Delhi's Safdarjung Hospital, chosen as symbolic billionth. So that baby
So
baby
was that
girl
with
was
a TH or with an S?
which one?
Her name.
AASTHA.
Okay.
You pronounce it.
What year was
No, I
that?
did.
You fake the call.
What year was that, Drew?
2000.
So she would be 23 now.
Yeah, correct.
Same age as Mondo.
I think aren't they at like 1.4?
They're- I think they're
1.6?
now.
Let's
I think
look
they're
at it,
now
Joe.
the biggest.
Yeah,
I think
they're
they're the
bigger
most
than China.
populous. I think.
Yeah,
nation.
population of India.
Wisconsin.
1.4.
1.408 billion in
they have
2021.
So they
What's
haven't grown since
What's the
2021.
population of China?
1.4.
Oh.
They're up by.
Yeah,
what
but this
China
is,
but
this
that's
is 2
2
years
years
ago.
old.
2 years ago.
I'll bet you they.
I
I,
bet you
think
they're
I
right.
read that.
What's the
that
population of the United States? Was that still 330 million?
million is all.
300
India's
million?
population mid-year is estimated to be 1.4286
Oh, so they're
billion.
just barely edging out
China.
China.
Okay, yeah, I just read that. just
2.9
shortly.
million fewer. Well, there you have
Because
it.
China had the
One child.
yeah they
policy.
wanted the one child thing
Policy.
for probably a couple of decades. I think.
I think so. I think you're right.
Somebody said, "How'd they not see that coming? That
Yeah.
being a problem?" You know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Now we got some famous birthdays.
Let's do these. Yeah, I like these.
This is John Wilkes Booth. It's his birthday, 1838. He was born. Fred Astaire in 1899.
We should show a cut of him dancing. He's
Yeah.
amazing, amazing dancer.
Come on, I can do that.
The folks that are my age and older would be very familiar, but people maybe younger, I don't know. Would they be? Would they
I know the name.
You know the name? Okay, he's one of the most
also
famous
the one that
dancers.
he had the what is it, top hat? It's called.
That's Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin. Okay.
I was at the school the other
Maybe
day.
I
a
don't know
decent
who Fred
dancer.
Astaire is then.
I was at the school the other day, and people didn't know who Elvis was.
Yeah. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers was his dancing
I know the
partner.
name.
They're famous.
I maybe don't know what he looks like though.
Pat Summerall, 1930.
Andre Rison.
He's
What-
great.
what-
2013 he died.
He and
was 10 years
John
ago.
Madden calling games.
No, they just
Hall
didn't
of
share
Fame,
it.
NFL Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
he is
because he
for
played.
announcing.
He also played in the NFL, didn't he?
For what? You wait. You got to guess.
Giants.
New York Giants, the G-men.
Giants.
I think that's right.
Yep, Giants. Along with Kyle Rote Jr. and Frank Gifford.
Frank Gifford.
Yep.
And
Wasn't he a lineman?
He kicked. I know that, but he probably played some other position. I can't
kicking
remember
is
what.
kind of like lineman.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
sometimes they
some
play-
linemen kicked.
Yeah.
I'm sure he
Kramer
played
did.
another position because they always kickers. They did oftentimes like Jerry Kramer was
Kramer did. Yeah.
and there were others that. What was he?
Longest field goal.
He's
50
born in
yards.
Florida.
Field goals made 100. Wow.
Made 100 field goals.
Well, we can't really trust this since it's Wikipedia, but
Let's try to give it a try.
You can't use. He's a place kicker position. The only one. 6'4", 228 pounds.
He's drafted by the Lions.
Wow, that's a big guy.
played with Bobby
the
Night Train
Lions,
Lane.
played for
My
Giants.
guess is that he probably could fill in. Maybe back then they were, they played both. Some played both ways yet, and
He was 6'4", 228
Was a big
pounds.
guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Was a big guy. And also Bono's birthday.
Nice.
You too.
Yep.
Here's my shoulder.
You got to do
Total
it now.
lip
Sing.
sync. Total lip sync.
How about some holidays?
There it is.
You want some
Oh,
holidays? I'll
some
give you some
holidays.
Hit us
holidays.
with
National Receptionist Day.
Okay.
Who's Vomp's receptionist?
You are.
Me.
I am?
Hi,
Joe
Joe.
is. Yeah,
Yep.
Joe is.
Joe's the
Hey,
receptionist.
Reception.
Thank you.
Damon would like this National Shrimp Day.
Mm.
I should tell him that.
So would. Never mind.
It's also National Clean Your Room Day.
I did that
Always
today.
a good day for that.
Mm.
And it's also Root Canal Appreciation Day.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yep. I've
not
had 4 or 5 of them.
Do you really?
About that.
4 or 5 root canals?
Yep. I've had a
I
lot
had a
of
root
That's
canal.
probably one of my
thousands and thousands of dollars in my mouth.
I had a
getting
root
the
canal
tooth
too,
knocked out.
Dad.
Hmm?
I had a
Or you-
root canal too. On
Right
this
up here?
dog
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yep.
Where they just go in there. They don't
Drill a
put
hole and
Did
stick
they-
stuff up.
Didn't
Stick
they
like
put,
a hang.
Didn't they put your tooth back in there?
They put
Yep.
a wire to it too right away to make sure it didn't
Yeah. Straighten
move
it
too
out.
much. Yeah.
That's your brown tooth.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't help. Doesn't help that it was rattled
Yeah, that's true.
by an elbow. Finished the game
Waterloo
though.
That's one of
Pirate
those.
elbow.
That's
Yep.
one of those.
Finished the game though.
Yep.
You bet you did.
That's one of those things.
Got the
that
W?
That's like, getting your teeth. Makes
Rattle.
your
Yeah.
skin crawl a little bit. And, fortunately,
That's
I
all
haven't
I
had many teeth
And
problems.
Mom just went to get, because when we sleep now, because we're old, we will grind our teeth sometimes. So I got this little thing that fits up here.
Splint, yeah.
And
Splint.
keeps my
Mouth
my teeth part. Well, the last time I went and got it, it was less than a year ago. They poured that mold down. You have to sit there for 3 minutes and not swallow or move, and it feels like you're choking. And you never ever want to swallow as bad as when they tell you
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
like
swallow.
you have to swallow.
And then Mom
yeah.
just went and got one, and they have a new system. They don't need to do that at all. All they do is kind of go around it with some sort of a sensor, and it makes it. I thought, why don't?
Did you go to Dr. Teddick though for your first time around?
Yep.
bad.
Peyton
Yeah.
Flammy, I was
They just
talking to
knew-
him.
Yeah.
He said he grinds his teeth as well.
Sure does.
So, fellow podcast watcher.
Yeah, he had to have a veneer put in.
He sure did.
Grinder.
Is his name Dr. Smiles Tedek?
Miles. Teddy.
Oh, Miles.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He's a nice guy.
We've worn out our welcome
we have.
again.
Would you say
This
is
is
he
the
a
end
nice
of.
guy?
This is the end of our 57th,
It is.
and
It's
so
sad.
we want to say thank you to Jim Schroeder
were the days.
for stopping
Mhm.
by. And we want to say thank you to Michelle Van Shindig down at the 1855 Coffee House for being our
They have
sponsor.
they've got cold brew.
Is
Yep.
that new?
It might be fairly new. I mean, it's
Not
It's a
the
summer thing.
technique.
it's something
Brings
that
up
they're
summer
yeah
thing.
something that they're showing that they've been promoting. Lately.
Did she say that she's experimented?
Yeah, let's
and-
not tell
and-
them how many hours because we don't want people to steal their
Oh, okay.
secret. But
okay, I
it's-
was going to put
it's a
something in Facebook
process.
and say that I like mine done a certain amount and,
Yeah.
and name that exact time. that she-
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for joining us, and I don't know if we need to say anything more.
No, we don't. That's it. We'll see you later.